Hey, and welcome back to Studio 6 for the intermediate build of a Quidditch player. Today we're going to make a player from the Gryffindor team. If you look at the mats list, it will have a sub-listing for how to make a Slytherin. As always, you can find that mats list on my Twitter feed. So let's get started. Well, first of all, every Quidditch player needs a broom. So for this build, I'm going to start with a post up just to get it off the floor here in the studio. And that'll be 2 posts of Koa, and then we'll take a 1x1 wedge. Give it that broom pointy look. And we'll take a tiny floor of gold, cap the broom, and then 4 1x3 wedges extending out from that tiny floor. This will be our bristles. Every good Quidditch player needs a good broom. Now I've made 2 separate teams in the air above the base here. That's 14 different players, including all the beaters and chasers and keepers and seekers. So be prepared if you're going to do a whole team. Now I'm going to put a lever in the back here. An inverter also works. If you use a lever, make sure you turn it on first. And then slide your last 1x3 wedge of gold over it. Now this does not need to be done for every player, just the ones you want to light up at night. Alright, we're going to start with our first leg, 1 space out from the broom. In the gold leg for Gryffindor to go with the rose. In this case, the wedges are going to be angled back. And then we'll take a 1x1 wedge of cherry. Put that forward. And then with the 1x2 wedge of cherry, we'll angle it down. And this will be our player's body. Take another 1x2, flip it around. There's the back. And as usual, this is a good time to put in the head now while you have a flat surface. So we'll take 2 tiny floors of walnut. There's our head. And then now we can put in that last 1x1 wedge of cherry. Go ahead and grab a tiny tile. And we'll put the ears on this monkey Quidditch player. There's the base, and then we'll follow it up with 2 tiny tiles of elm, 1 on each side, and the ears are done. Let's go ahead and get our monkey muzzle on there. So that'll be the standard 3. 1, 2, and then the bottom one we'll add another layer to. There's 3. Let's go ahead and put the arms on this Quidditch player. In the signature Gryffindor gold. Again, see the notes if you want to make Slytherin. I used green and white for that. Alright. And let's go ahead and put the hands and feet on. In this particular case, the way I have the broom set up, we're going to put the hands straight out, unless you're doing a beater or a chaser, then they might be doing something else. Now we're going to start the little hat with a tiny tile of cherry topped with a 1x1 wedge of gold. Alright, looking good. Now we'll put the feet on. We'll have them flopping back. And this is just a standard starting pose. Again, if you're going to do a whole team, you'll want to pose the arms and legs differently. Now to show movement, and because it's Hogwarts, I've included a little scarf for our players. So we'll start with the gold. You might have to flip the next tile around to get it to seat. And then 1 more. And that just goes at the base of the head. flip it, stick it. There we go. Good school colors. Scarf doesn't seem out of character. Now let's go ahead and get a placement blueprint. So we can do the old tail. Now in the past, I've done a lot of over and under tails. But this one's going to be a little different. Because again, hopefully this broom is moving at speed. So let's give a little jig and a jag. Kind of shows the tail is coming out behind the player. And then we'll use the other post blueprint I put in. And for these brooms, I know they have foot pegs, but I wanted to style this more like a motorcycle. So we'll start in the middle of the tile. Kind of look at your gaps, pull it across the middle. And straight down that pole. You can kind of see how it is on both sides. Get your spacing right. And you want to get it as close to the edge as you can, even below it like that if you possibly can. And then be able to come over here, line it up with your post blueprint for the middle. And there we go. And then bring it straight back up to the hand. And we've got equal sides on both sides of that post. And then we'll come down and under and pull it back across the hand. Regular wires work well for this because they got kind of the stoppers. Looks good. Get rid of that blueprint. Now we've got our motorcycle broom. We'll take another regular wire. And then I like to come around where the bristles meet just to give it a little definition to simulate that twine you see around a lot of the older brooms. And just kind of bend it around. Doesn't have to be straight and clean. I'll take that, angle it in here. And there we go. Gives nice definition to the bristles. And you're essentially done for some of your team. If you're going to go on and make more, this particular monkey, we're going to try to go ahead and add some goggles. Because the tiles are so small and you must go one unit to stick a wire, doing full-on glasses is very tough. So we're just going to go ahead and do a W and angle it back and over the ears. That will kind of look like that famous Quidditch player we all know. And for the seeker, I just use one tiny floor of sinister wood. Now, if you put these in the air, one of the problems you have is you cannot see these at night. They just kind of blend in. So for a few particular players, I've added a neon. So I've added tiles here to get me to the middle. And then in this case, I've used the yellow for Gryffindor and green neon for Slytherin. And so you'll come out from your contact. It'll go up a little bit. Jig and juke. And kind of simulate a little bit of flame. Since the lighting change, putting more bins than this in it makes it way too bright. So I've kind of done half of it. There we go. On a few select monkeys that you choose and players. As you can see up here, at night you can see those. So it's kind of nice. You don't see all the players, but you see a few select ones. Now let's take a quick look and see how I've posed some of my players. I think I've got a Slytherin pretty close to the ground we can look at. And feel free to leave comments in the comments section. Here you see subbed in green and white and rotated. And I'll leave some pictures of my team and we'll see you again next time. Thank you so much.